I say this as a man who has lived through many losses and witnessed countless lives fall apart. Some of you watching this video may not realize that one wrong decision made in loneliness can cost you your home, your life savings, and even your dignity. I am not here to comfort you with pleasant words. I am here to warn you. I have seen too many decent people collapse simply because they trusted the wrong person at their most vulnerable moment. If you are feeling empty and craving to be loved, pause for a few minutes and listen to me. Comment 1 if you will stay and keep watching. I am not speaking from books or speculation. I have practiced family and marriage law for 47 years, sitting face to face with more than 3,000 people at the moment their lives were breaking apart. I have seen intelligent, successful individuals, people who once controlled everything, fall apart because of one rushed decision made when they found love later in life. I have watched fortunes built over decades disappear with just a few signatures. I have seen children turn away, families collapse, and shame follow people for the rest of their lives. Not everyone loses everything, but many lose far more than they ever imagined. When you hear me today, understand this. These lessons were paid for with tears, money, and time that can never be recovered. I share this so you don't repeat the same tragedy in your own life. The people I worry about most are not the young, but those over 50 who have just experienced loss. Widowhood, divorce, or years of living alone can slowly create a deep emotional void. At that point, people don't just want a relationship, they want to feel seen, needed, and cared for. That very human need makes them ignore warning signs. They don't want to question, they don't want to verify, and they don't want to slow down because they're afraid of losing their last chance to be loved. I have heard many say, "I don't have time to make mistakes anymore." Ironically, that belief is exactly what pushes them into the biggest mistake of their lives. I want to tell you about Patricia, a widowed woman I will never forget. When she came to see me, her life was stable. Her house was fully paid off. Her insurance payout and pension were enough for a comfortable retirement. After her husband passed away, Patricia joined a grief support group. That's where she met a man who seemed understanding, gentle, and patient. He didn't hit her. He didn't yell. He didn't threaten. He simply whispered affection every day. Patricia gave him control over her finances. She added his name to the house, believing it was a sign of genuine commitment. Then everything disappeared. The money was gone. The house was gone. The man was gone. In the final years of her life, Patricia lived in poverty and quiet shame. If you feel compassion for her story, comment 1. If you disagree with such blind trust, leave a dot. After Patricia's story, there is a truth you must understand, one that is even more frightening. She was not a rare case. According to official data, Americans over 60 lose billions of dollars every year to scams, and romance scams make up a significant portion of that loss. But what troubles me most isn't the numbers. It's this. Many scammers are not strangers online. They are people you meet in real life, at church, in grief support groups, through friends. They appear at the exact moment you are most vulnerable. They say exactly what you need to hear, and they are patient enough that you see no danger at all. That familiarity lowers your guard. I have heard too many people say, "I never thought someone so kind could deceive me." The truth is, the most dangerous people rarely look like villains. After hearing hundreds of stories like Patricia's, I noticed a pattern that repeats itself again and again: love bombing. This is when someone overwhelms you with attention. Constant calls, non-stop messages, excessive praise, and talk about the future far too soon. They tell you that you are the best thing that ever happened to them, that they have never loved anyone like this before. The feeling is intoxicating. It makes people feel alive again. And that is the trap. The brain reacts to this kind of adoration the way it reacts to an addictive substance, causing you to ignore even the smallest red flags. You make excuses. You look away. All because you are afraid of losing that feeling of being loved. Let me be clear. That is not love. Real love grows slowly. It includes disagreements, challenges, and imperfect days. It does not rush to promise forever with someone you have known for only a few weeks. If you think only women are vulnerable to being deceived, listen to Robert's story. He was a 64-year-old former police officer, someone who had faced criminals for decades. But when his wife died suddenly, Robert collapsed. He had never lived alone, didn't know how to take care of himself, and that emptiness made him easy to trust. A woman appeared. She listened, showed empathy, cried with him. She moved in quickly, saying it was only temporary. Then came the debt she needed help with, the documents that needed signing, the decisions made for convenience. By the time Robert came to see me, the house was gone. The money was gone. Even his legal control was gone. All he said was, "I don't understand where I went wrong." Loneliness defeated both experience and reason. If you believe vulnerability doesn't discriminate between men and women, comment 4. If not, leave 0. After everything I have witnessed, I always share 6 survival rules with my clients when it comes to love later in life. First, always keep finances separate. Your money must stay in your name. Second, make no major legal or financial decisions during the first 2 years, no matter how deep the emotions feel. Third, listen to your children, friends, and family. When many people are concerned, it's not a coincidence. Fourth, sign a prenuptial agreement. Not because you distrust love, but because you protect yourself. Fifth, be cautious of extreme wealth imbalance. Imbalance always creates risk. And finally, watch how they react when you set boundaries. Someone who truly loves you will respect caution. Someone who gets angry, applies pressure, or plays the victim because you protect yourself usually doesn't love you for who you are, but for what you have. After all the stories I've shared, this is the most important thing I want you to remember. Wanting to be loved is not something to be ashamed of. Loneliness after loss is real and deeply human, but danger begins when you allow loneliness to guide your decisions. I have seen too many people fear being alone so much that they accept risks they would never agree to with a clear mind. Remember this: someone who truly loves you will not rush you, will not make you feel guilty for being cautious, and will never treat your assets as an entitlement. Healthy love brings a sense of safety, not anxiety. In the final chapter of life, it is better to live independently, peacefully, and with dignity than to lose everything in exchange for a brief illusion of being loved. If this made you reflect, follow the channel and watch more videos.